I am a spiritual writer, energy reader and healer. My readings, articles and the healings that I give are all sort of seeking to empower and provide a different perspective, really. How would I describe myself in 3 words? I'm passionate, authentic, and most of all, I'm fun. You've got to laugh at times, right? Okay, so not all the time. Sometimes we'll cry together too. Hope you're enjoying all the content that I'm putting up on my channel, and if that's the case, love it if you could like and subscribe. Until then, see you around, lovely wing people. So hi, welcome to your Mercury retrograde reading today. So just doing a little intro into all of the readings. Mercury retrograde usually happens sort of 3 to 4 times a year, depending on the lunar calendar. And it's a very difficult time where the retrograde means that we go back or we go and revisit something, or things may not work as well. But they may not work as well because there's a reason or a lesson that we need to gain from it. It's often a time, because it's ruled, Mercury is the planet of communication, it affects all types of communication. So it can affect our computers, our phones, our cameras. Tell me about it. I've had a few camera issues of that period. So yeah, it can really feel like it's working against us. It's a time frame of shadow that we just need to work through and get through. But often, on a positive note, there are things, as I said, just that, you know, that we need to take from it, that we need to learn from. So coming out of this period is a good thing, or is a positive thing, and affects us in different ways, because wherever the retrograde sits at the time of the year will affect each of us astrologically differently, because it will sit in the different 12 houses, which are houses for astrology that are ruled by planets and affect us in our day-to-day lives. So I just wanted to sort of mention what it was and how it might affect us before I started any of the readings. So hi, my little Geminis. How are you? How you doing? You get through the retrograde? Well, to start off with, I'd just like to say, as Geminis, you are obviously ruled by Mercury. So I think you probably had a worse time than most. You and Virgos also being ruled by Mercury, would have had, could have had a very tricky time. But each retrograde sits in different houses, and basically, for you Gemini, it's sat in your 5th house, which is about love and creativity. So these are areas that you would have maybe struggled in, or found were very difficult for you. So yeah, double whammy, Gemini. You had it all to deal with. So yeah, I'm feeling for you. My heart goes out to you. Before I start pulling your cards, I just want to say I have pre-shuffled. I'm saying this as a disclaimer for every reading. For people that say, oh, we like to see the shuffle, my apologies. I do a shuffle. I do always shuffle before I pull the cards, but I do a sort of really thorough, much bigger shuffle before I start, just because it's quite time consuming. So I'm going to pick 6 cards for the we've already got one. So King of Wands really wanted to come out. So fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Also about creativity and drive in projects. So interesting that this is the area you were hit in. And now we're moving forward. Of course, we're going to go in a different direction. So you're going to be, you're going to do well in these areas. Okay. So we've got your King of Wands. Okay. What else have we got for our lovely Gemini twins? What can you tell us that we've come out of this most difficult period and hopefully into a much better one. Okay. The Devil. Yeah. Kind of twins. I just spoke about the twins. The twins are kind of on there. They are really Gemini. Those two people are sat on that Devil card. Don't panic. Devil doesn't always mean terrible awfulness. It can mean basically Capricorn, to be honest. It can be a Capricorn energy. Okay, so we have got the Six of Pentacles in our third position. We've got the Fool in reverse underneath our King of Wands. That tells me a lot, Gemini. I can see perhaps what might have been holding you back. Okay, underneath the Devil, we have... Okay, you got 3 more cards, so... Okay. Underneath the Devil, you have the Six of Swords. Swords are air signs, so Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. But you have this in reverse. I will get to that in a momento. Right, so underneath your Six of Pentacles, you have got the Ten of Wands in reverse. I like it. I like it, Gemini. This is coming out good. We're coming out of the other side. Okay, there's a little bonus card of the World card. Ooh, one of my favourite cards of all of the arcanas. This is the end of the line, the end of the journey, the end of the cycle. In the Rider-Waite, these cards that are named, they're called major arcanas. Most people will know that, and I apologise if I'm teaching you to suck eggs. But for those of you that don't, these major arcanas, they go from 0 to this card here, 21. And basically the 0 is what you have, the Fool. That's the beginning and that's the end, baby. So this is really talking about this journey that we go on, which is usually, you know, our life lessons ultimately. And each one of these major arcanas has like a lesson or something that we need to go on our journey, gather up in our little knapsack, pack away for another day when the lesson needs to be relived, and then we learn our lesson and then we bring it out of the knapsack, done and dusted. Self-knowledge. There you go. In a nutshell. Right, okay, so this World card then I'm going to just put to the side because that's obviously just a little extra that I'm going to talk about at the end. Okay, so your energy for the overall reading, which is the bottom of the deck, is the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So this could be a person, not gender specific, or this could be an energy. So this could be an earth sign in your life that's going to be affecting all of what we read about. And by affecting, that can be love, that could be a boss, that could be somebody that makes decisions for something that you want. That could be, I don't know, the bank manager even saying, will I give you those pentacles, won't I? That's your energy. Or it could be your energy, that you're sat in this power. He's very powerful, King of Pentacles. He's got his finances sussed. He's very stable. He's got a good foundation in which to live his life. There's a lot of yellow in this card, which is all about the solar plexus for any of those of you that are interested in your chakras. This solar plexus is the center, is the core, and it's all about core strength and feeling in balance with yourself. So yeah, that's the energy underlying for your reading. Okay, I pulled for all the other signs so far these empowerment cards. I'm going to just pull one. Is it upside down? One for every reading that I do now. I talk a little bit about my website, which is Pegasus and the Witch, and I am literally the witch. That doesn't mean I'm awful, I'm terrible, and I turn frogs into snakes and do horrible things. Oh, it actually means the opposite. the green witches were healers, and I'm a healer. And these empowerment cards I think are so cool, because if I can empower or, you know, instill a tiny bit of mindfulness in any individual that might need it that day, then to me that's goals. Okay, so your empowerment for today, Gemini, no one else is you, and that is your power. So this empowerment card is really sort of telling you to own your power, Gemini. Take control. You're out of the retrograde now. We've come out of that time where love was a bit downhill and we couldn't be creative, you know? Being creative isn't just about drawing lovely pictures. Being creative is, we live our lives, you know? We can be creative in how we live our lives. And if we can't see a way of doing that, that creativity or the stifling of that creativity can really hold us back and stop us from being who we are. So there we go, Gemini. You have the power. Okay. Right, so let's do a little bit of clarification with our Island Wellness cards. I'm going to just pull one for each column, and then I'm going to go down and go through it and read for you, Gemini. Oh, wow. Pre-shuffled these. They don't want to come out. So I'm going to do them in 3 piles. And then I'm going to pick from the top. From the top, the first column. Coffee cup. Meeting, conversing. Okay. Number 2. Camera. Reminiscing, keepsake, perception. And in the 3rd column, we have coffin. Don't panic. It's not saying death. The coffin can just mean endings. But I'll tell you exactly what energy I see that meaning in one momento. Okay, so let's do your first column. So you've got your King of Wands, your Fool in reverse, and your Coffee Cup. Your Fool in reverse with this Wands. This is forward energy. This is projects, creativity, power. So these things may be within your grasp. They certainly would have felt that they weren't in the previous months, but we are coming out of that now and you're coming into your power. However, you have the Fool card currently in reverse. In the upright, I would say go forward on your steed, take your strength, be who you're going to be, take risks, jump off the mountain. Well, not commit suicide, but the Fool is on the mountain and he jumps off, and he's not killing himself. It's not quite that severe, but it's this idea that this character has so much knowledge about who he is and where he's going, and so much faith and so much hope in his future and his life, that he just jumps off and he will be caught. He will be caught by the universe, and he knows it. Because this is in reverse for you right now, I'm seeing that you've not felt very strong in this core area, which is a very important area. I think my battery's going to go in a moment, so I'm going to just pause the camera there and then we're going to come back to this. Sorry, guys. Okay, back in the room. So glad. I had to move my camera a little bit slightly as well, so I'm sorry. Okie doke. Right, so where were we? We were talking about this idea of the Fool being in reverse. And this card in reverse next to this King of Wands is saying that there are opportunities and there is scope for you to be this person that can take on these projects or take on these new opportunities. But at the moment, you fear it. You're fearing those opportunities, or you're fearing those steps you might need to take in order to achieve this. I would say that it's in grasp for you. And because you've had this difficult time and you are coming out of this retrograde now, I think this just might be that idea of that shadow side that forms a couple of days either side, that you probably just don't feel that yet. But what I feel is when I read cards in reversal, I often see that with time and effort that it can be turned like this. So for me, this Fool card, along with this King of Wands, would be, you're going to take the risk and it's going to pay off. You're going to have the strength in order to follow those dreams or pursue those goals that you have in mind, that you're working towards. At the moment, you're not quite in that power, but you're getting there. You're getting there. And to clarify it, we had this coffee cup, which says meeting and conversing, savouring the moment, feeling uplifted, friendship. I think right now, a lot of you Geminis just might need a really good friend out there. Or an ear, somebody to listen to, somebody to have a bit of a chat with. I think there's just a couple of little confidence issues hanging over you, Gemini. I think as a sign, you can be an overthinker. You can spend a lot of time up in your head and you can be very, very stubborn. One thing I also say about Geminis that I always see is they're one of the astrology signs where their life can be a combination of a lot of choices. They can feel that their life is constant decision making and choices and weighing up whether they've made the right decision or not. The Geminis do make great friends. I have some amazing friends that are Geminis and they are good listeners, but this card's sort of saying to you that it's time for you to have somebody to listen to you. It's time for you to voice the fears and have that person that loves you and cares about you and your well-being just to be there for you and say, you know what, you got this. Okay, Gemini. So the next column you've got is the Devil card. And you've got the Six of Swords in reverse. You are not moving on from something at the moment. And our reading today was about moving on, which is really strange. The Devil energy, like I said earlier, it doesn't necessarily mean this gruesome idea. It can just be this Capricorn energy, this earth energy. I spoke earlier about Gemini. I just said that Geminis sometimes feel that they spend their lifetime making difficult choices or decisions, or thinking about what decisions they need to make. And this Devil card is kind of a little bit that sort of energy with this in reverse, because if this Six of Swords was in the upright, it would be saying moving on, moving past difficult thought processes, difficult times, putting the past behind you, putting the harsh times behind you and moving towards more still waters. Because this is in reverse, I think this is about your self-belief again. I think this is about you not believing you can move past something. And this Devil energy can be temptation, and it can be addiction, and it can be the feeling of being caught and stuck between the devil and a hard place, as they say. I think that it's time to really sit and think about what you want. There will always be temptations in life, but sometimes we have to turn those temptations around so that we can just identify what we want and then go for it. Take the Fool card and go for it. Sometimes the Devil card's just a little warning there as well to us to say, perhaps we know we have behaviours that are in our shadow side, that we show that aren't our best side, and maybe we don't know how to move away from those behaviours. We don't know how to start acting in a different way. Can also be the card can denote codependency in a relationship. For some of you, it might be that you're in a relationship that you're finding hard to get out of. I think the retrograde ending hasn't helped. I think this is going to help you now. You're going to be more in your power. You're going to be able to do that Gemini thing and make that decision. You're going to be able to turn this round and move forward. Maybe leaving this toxic behaviour behind. Who knows? There's a couple of meanings in there for you guys. Might be all for you, might be none for you, or there might be specific people out there saying, I know what that is. I know what I need to shed. I know what work I need to be prepared to do that I'm not doing right now. I'm sitting in this energy, or I'm just treading water. Okay, well, that's fine. Sometimes we need to heal and we need to tread water to get ourselves together, get our shit together. Sometimes we need to do that. But it's saying don't sit in that energy too long, because that will keep you stuck. Okay, so with the clarification about you had camera, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learning from the past, making memories. I think we've got some past issues going on, some old patterns of behaviour that maybe you've been doing for quite a while, and that devil card's saying you're finding it hard to shift. The thing with this symbol of this camera, right? Well, we're on a camera now, okay? So we can film what we choose to film. We can take pictures of shots we want to take pictures of. And we can make the choices that we need to make of what's going to be good and what's going to be bad. And what's self-awareness and what's this external life that goes on outside of us that we can't control. Your reading is really about you taking the confidence, taking the bull by the horns, and either dealing with a current situation or behaviour that you're displaying, or changing some old beliefs that are no longer warranted anymore. Perhaps you've outgrown that self-deprecating voice that says, well, I can't do that, I'm not good at that. Get some new affirmations, decide to change it up, make some different life choices, take some different pictures, make some new memories. Okay, Gemini, your third column. This column is looking really good for me. This coffin card, I think, is about endings of behaviour, endings of relationships, endings of jobs, endings of toxic periods. And what's always great about an ending, people always want to focus on the ending, but I'm kind of a glass half full type of girl. And wherever there's an ending, there's always a beginning. And it's those beginnings that charter our life, really. They're combinations of new beginnings. Everything we did once was a new beginning. So we have this opportunity to press our resetting button. And I think this reading is saying to you, after this retrograde, you have that ability to press reset. You have that ability to choose what it is that you want to change in your life, make the decisions, and go and grab life. Go and grab it before this happens. Okay, all right. Maybe not the right thing to have done. You know what I mean though, right? So, Six of Pentacles in the upright, giving and receiving, equal balance. This could be a new relationship. This could be a new job. If it's a new job, it's saying what you put into it, you'll get out of it, which is very cool thing to think on a new opportunity, right? There's this person in the background with these scales. So this is like justice as well. So there's a bit of balance in here. It's an earth sign. So it's a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn again. So you had that on the theme of your reading. So earth is about getting grounded, getting balanced, leveling yourself up. This person, you see, is giving to the poor. So he knows that he has all these riches, and he doesn't just keep those riches for himself, he shares it. And when he shares it, he puts this vibration out to the universe that it's in equal amounts. What you give, you will receive. And that's like having really good karma, I'd say. So I think that there's really good karma coming up for you guys. I think something is about to come to its cycle of justice. And I think we're going to really hark a new era, a new time for you Geminis. I think you're going to go into a new stage of your life where things are just going to get easier for you, and gosh, you deserve that. You need things to get easier. Things have been quite tricky. You've not had an easy time of it, have you? Okay, so underneath that card, you had your Ten of Wands in reverse. Again, great card. In the upright, it's about not seeing the wood for the trees, being disillusioned, you know, finding things really hard to bear, to carry any longer. In this reverse, you're letting go of all that dead wood of the past. And it's time for you to let that go. This is this coffin thing. It's time for you to let that die. That idea of burdens. Oh, my life is this burden. I carry this burden. Change the record. Let go of all this baggage. It's time to make a new start, a new beginning. Lay this foundation, but lay it strong. You know, lay that foundation well. Make sure that it's the right foundation so that you can build on it, something really strong and sturdy. Okay, so I'm now going to pull you a little angel card. I work with angels in a lot of my readings and generally on a day-to-day basis. I ask them to help, all sorts of help actually. I ask them for things like car parking spaces, help with if I had an interview or something that I really needed to be great at. I ask them for their help. I can hear people just going, oh really? Yeah, really. And and you can too. Yeah, you just have to ask and just see what happens. So, our soul angel cards. What would you like to tell our lovely Gemini twins coming out of this tricky old time? What can we tell them? What can we give them? Okay, I'm going to cut the cards. Okay, so tenderness. Be a little bit kinder to everybody you see today. This goes for yourself as well, by the way. Being kind is really great advice for anybody. You know, if more of us were kind in this world, I'm sure it would just be a much more harmonious place. I mean, look, there's a need for it not to be always this way. I understand that. There's yin and there's yang. But this is asking you to, if you've been on the end of somebody being unkind, it's asking you to just love yourself a bit more and know that you're worthy and that you deserve this tenderness. You deserve to be treated well. If you're a Gemini that's been, on the other hand, giving all of the stick, which some of you can do, we know that there's the light and the shade in all of us. If you've been giving out energies that are not so tender, it's time to stop and take a good look at that and ask yourself why you're doing the things you're doing. Okay, my little lovely ones. I want to end on that just to say, have an amazing rest of the month. The veil is very thin at the moment. This idea between this life and the next is quite thin. So there's lots of people having like dreams and messages and synchronicities and stuff like that. So as a Gemini, you can be quite psychic. You can be quite aware. I would just say, listen out for the messages. They're around you all the time. It's time for change. Take care, Gemini. Just at the end of your reading, I just wanted to mention my new spell kits that I've been writing. On the website, I do mention that I associate myself with green witches, which are healers. And they work with mindfulness and this sort of thing. And I've been producing these spell kits. If you can see that up close. Yeah. These spell kits I write myself, and I do a couple of adult ones and some children's spell kits. There is a review currently on my website. Go and take a look. For one of my young viewers that purchased one of these kits, just talks a little bit about what's in them and how she's enjoyed them. So that might be worth having a look at on my website. So that's www.pegasusandthewitch.com. So it's very quickly, I thought I would just go through the sort of things that are in these kits. So they come with a scroll, and I write all of the special spells. So there are different ones. So the children ones, there are 3 different ones available. Go and have a little look at what those are. Just a very quick idea of the sort of things that are in them. This is one of the adult love kits I've got here. So inside the adult ones comes the Pegasus and the Witch candle that you can light during the spell. And these lovely Dragon's Blood incense sticks also come with the kit, and they have sort of instructions of when to burn these and in what order to do that. So they smell amazing, the Dragon's Blood ones. They are just such a beautiful thing to have anyway. And then each kit comes with a very different little talisman, and talismans are associated with luck and magic. So these are part of the spells as well. This one here is my witch with the 3 angels. They're very interactive. Each kit comes with a special affirmation card as well that you can be using after you've used the spell. And they're all about empowerment and believing in yourself and this sort of thing. And they're really great things to interact with. So yeah, go and have a little look on the website.